Okay, so a quick review about what we talked about on type of content. On Tuesday we talked about content, and then today we'll be looking at branding. All right. So one thing about content is that there should be a direction in content aspect. What people should have perspective about what they are, what they'll be liking to know your brand and what does your brand stand for, which talked about a lot of perspective about branding. Like for instance, we are familiar with Coca-Cola as a brand. If you see the Coca-Cola font, you wouldn't be told everything that okay, this is a Coca-Cola brand, despite even if the content is not there, but with the logo, you should know what it is, the way the bottle is being, designed compared to the way the bottle of Pepsi is being designed. I mean, the glass design, not the plastic, because the plastic is similar to each other brand. So, for instance, and on this aspect, there are different industry that has different color brands. So, if you are in an entertainment industry, you are likely to use more of red, yellow, and so on and so other color. But the primary dominant color of entertainment industry is yellow and red. The dominant color for male fashion kind of product can be blue and it could be all shade of blues. Same thing goes for if you are doing for ABBA product for health, basically it's green. So every product or every brand has different color that goes for the tone as well as the branding. If you are doing into gold, basically you should have either yellow or semi-gold color that will align with what your brand. So for instance, depending on what you are doing, if you're into fashion, fashion goes with yellow, sometimes red, depending. If you're into love, representation of love is red color. You know, that's why you see most of our eatery, they always play with red color. For instance, Mr. Biggs, Chicken Republic, Domino Pizza, the element brand color is red because they work in the same industry. So that is just a basic understanding. So let us go into it properly. So what is branding itself? What do you understand by branding? Based on what we talk about. So branding is one psychological reflection on your brand. It's as simple as that. There's no any going back and forth. So what does people say about your brand? What does people think about your brand? What does people tell people about your brand? What do people What kind of reflection do your brand give to others? So if I want to eat chicken now, the best place to go is to go to Chicken Republic. That's a brand on Chicken Republic brand. That does not mean every other brand does not sell chicken. But if I want to get the best of the best chicken in Nigeria, I need to enter what Chicken Republic. That is the perception they give their brand, in terms of elementary customer. From the word Chicken Republic means that if you want the best chicken, come to this Chicken Republic. That doesn't mean Cravings does not sell chicken. That does not mean somebody doesn't sell chicken. But they were trying to play with us psychologically to know that if you want the best chicken in Nigeria, come to Chicken Republic. So let's look at another industry again, the sneakers industry. We have Puma, we have Nike. So now, what does Nike sell? What is the brand of Nike? Their logo, which is what just do it. Means that if you are into, they have different categories of shoes. They have sports, they have casual wear, and so on and so forth. So what they said is that you just do what you need to do and put on their shoe. Their shoe will always complement any outfit that you are putting on. And whenever you see their logo, you know that okay, this logo means just go ahead, tick, go ahead, you pass. It's giving you an elementary understanding about what the company stands for. So let's just take it down to our side now. So maybe the normal regular businesses that we used to do for as simple as it is. So if somebody is into fashion, you notice that almost all the fashion designer usually put either scissors or they put the bow in their logo. Why? Because they were trying to, make sure the brand resonates with people. Do you understand? So those are the things that you need to know. So in that aspect, brand does not actually identify with logo alone, or brand does not really identify with just slogan alone. Another element of branding you should take care of or should take notice is color type. What kind of color go with this our business? You need to make findings. The kind of color that go with the brand that we operate. Is it green? Does green go with our fashion brand? Does red go to our fashion brand? Does blue go to our fashion brand? Those are the things you know. And if you've gotten your primary color, try to get a secondary color and tertiary color. These are the colors that can be used to, to complement the main logo, the main color, in the sense that from black, black can be a primary color. From black, I can get ash. From ash, I can get gray. From gray, I can get white. They are simple as that. So every primary color has secondary color. Do you understand? So that is that. Then the last part I want to talk about branding here is this is more like different kind of you know uh, materials. So if you are doing, let's quickly go to Google and see a company branding profile, company sorry, company branding. Okay, let's see package. So let's go for image. So if you look at this now, so let's look at this logo. Let's look at this branding item for this brand. Hopefully it could be bigger or it's not big. Okay, good. Then this one is not make sense. So let's look at this one. So look at it now. The major color here is just two. So these are the element of the brands. This is like their envelope. This is the second one here is their complimentary card. This is their letterhead. This is their color barrel. Do you understand? So what enable people to know that this consistency of color type, not that they use oh, by network, not that they use brown, they use green, they use yellow. As a brand, you must have an element of same pattern. Let's look at this what I want to do. Let's look at this. As you can see this. So this is another shade of pattern, same color. So you can see this, you can see the same pattern goes across all their design type. You can see again two color. These are the examples. They are giving your clients that okay, these people know what they are doing. They are not just working anyhow. You can see you get see the same pattern, see this choice of color. Do you understand? So this is the best example of what branding looks like. It gives you uniformity and enable you to. So this can be done individually. If you are very good in doing that, fine. But if you are not, it's advisable for you to give it to someone that is that are good in that field. So in this element of content creation that has to do with branding, there are major elements that is very powerful. That when people see those elements, they can really, that this brand is from this particular person. E.g., logo. We've talked about logo here. Logo basically represents the brand in the sense that if the text is not appearing, the logo should appear. Do you understand? So let's quickly go to this sample product that we have here. If you look at this, let's pick them. So if you look at this first one can see the logo representation. There's a logo here, logo on their letterhead, logo on their cover, logo on their magnetic card, logo on their prop, same logo interpreted. These are badge, and so on and so forth. Those logo basically represent the brand. When people see it, so let's look at our various banks in Nigeria. I mean the commercial banks like GT, First Bank, Eco Bank, and so on and so forth. So even if you do not see the name on it, but if you see the logo, you're able to remember, I know this is GT, this is First Bank, this is Oma Bank. Do you understand? This is Access Bank. So what those logo does is they represent the brand in creating brand perception for their client. But the next thing is color. So color is very simple. Like I said, they are primary, they're secondary, or they are some color that complement each other. Note, depending on your industry, you know what industry you are working for. If your industry works with red, it's advisable to work with red, yellow, and white, depending how the shade of design you want to do. Your perception is the color perception comes from your creative person. So the next thing is font. So a good example of font is like using your Coca-Cola. Their font is very unique, cannot be anywhere else, whereas you can actually stand in as their logo. Do you understand? So what that does is that nobody can easily use your font type. So with example of font, let me quickly go to text here. We're going to click on this. These are font type. So you have different category of font here. Still recommended some fonts. So these are font type. So font type basically make your body of content change. But choose any one of these now. This one here is going to change. Let me take this one. So the content is going to change. I see the typing that's changed. Let's pick another one. That's changed. That is what, if you want to have a unique font that does not people that have access to it, fine, what you do is just to pay and get the fonts. Do you understand? So let's quickly go back to what the previous content is all about. Okay. So that won't be missed. So that is out. So one thing font does is just like whenever people see your font, this is a popular font. This is Globo's font. So even if you are trying to be on the standard of global brands, your fonts speak well about your brand and people can everybody resonate your brand with or without you. Or a simple element of font can be a unique symbol for people in the next world. So tone of voice. Tone of voice is talking about communication. How do people feel in terms of communicating to people? How do people feel your brand? Do they feel as if you are too noisy? Your brand is for poor people, or is it the poor people that resonate with your brand? No matter how good your product is, if you do not have a good branding package, there are some rich people that will not even get to you. They will not even come close to your brand. Imagine you know how to cook and you are selling food by the butter where they are throwing by the roadside of the butter. And your food is the best food in that environment. So what tone are you giving your brand? Is it a good tone that people like it's resonate with rich people or is it resonate with everybody or is it resonate with poor people? and so on and so forth like that. Do you get? So the elements and the way you make people perceive your brand goes a long way. As a brand, you're advised to monitor and look through how people is going to see your brand and perceive it, because you cannot, you do not have choice on how people see or perceive your brand. It's what you do that enable them to see what you do and give them their own final, judgment. You cannot force them to believe what they want to see. So what you put out there determine what they see and how to feel your brand. And now, there are people that cannot recommend your brand if your brand does not meet their standard. You have to meet their standard for them to really resonate with your price. So now let's look at the second part of this section, which is to talk about why brandings matter. Number one, branding matter because of the recognition. A lot of people want to resonate with good things. They say, okay, I like this brand. I know they have seen them before. I think I've seen them online before. I've seen somebody, have testified about their product. Their product is the best, and so on and so forth. That is one reason why branding matter. Secondly, is trust. A lot of people need to trust a brand. Like, even if you are sleeping, your brand should be marketing for you without you being, because you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Imagine the brand in Lagos and somebody go to Kaduna and saw the same brand. Are you saying that they will move the company from Lagos to Kaduna? No, because the brand will always speak of itself anywhere in the without anybody speaking. What people perceive in Lagos, people can perceive it in Kaduna as well. Those are the attributes of branding. Those are one thing that enable your branding make so well and very, very unique. You have to work on the recognition, let people try to, get to know it. And part of recognition basically talks from awareness. You need to put an awareness for a brand. Let people see what you are doing, be on people's face. The best form of trust is through referral. It will be surprised to you that when somebody refers somebody to you, it's easier for you to convert them to the client compared to when somebody just working. They want to make friends, make some correction. Who are you? What do you do? Are you sure I know you? I know 419. But if somebody recommends somebody to you, automatically you are trusting the person that recommend. For this person to recommend this person means that this person is legit. Do you understand? Those are the things that enable your brand to speak well. So yeah, thank you for today. Let's try to look at our take home. So if you have any questions, just comment, let me know so I will know how to tackle them. So first off, to create a brand name is very easy. Like I said, take a brand name for this class and choose anyone. Choose two colors that resonate with your brand and write short brand description. Yeah, so that's that. I believe it's something you can work on. Thank you. So if you have any question, kindly please.